But next, let's kick it all down to Fayetteville, where Sam Pittman talked about his recent contract extension. Again, if you missed it last week, 5-year deal, I believe it is $5 million per season for Sam Pittman. If he wins 7 games in a season, he gets an automatic 1-year extension, kind of like Mark Stoops has got down there in Kentucky. A very incentive-laden contract here for Sam Pittman. I think there's also a clause where if he doesn't win half his games, his buyout is very, very low. So he's got to keep winning. But now he's paid. And they didn't have to back up the Brinks truck to old Sam Pittman's house to get him either. I mean, he's still the 9th highest paid coach in the SEC. He's well worth that based on what he's done so far there in Fayetteville. Again, I've said it time and time again. I think he's done a fantastic job the last 2 years, maybe the best 2-year job in the SEC the last 2 years. And now he gets rewarded with a lot heftier of a payday. It's official. And Sam Pittman met with the media here on Tuesday to talk about it. And there was a lot of appreciation, a little bit him explaining the non-compete. He's got a non-compete in his contract. He cannot go to another SEC school. And that little juicy tidbit here, that was put in there because apparently his agent, if you don't know, Jimmy Sexton, just hired Jimmy Sexton leading up to this contract negotiation. But he represents damn near every coach in the SEC now. But apparently Jimmy Sexton's been going around saying there's an SEC program that the coach is not going to be there past this fall. Sam Pittman, maybe they'll pinpoint Sam Pittman. Now, is that true? We don't know. I mean, that's an agent's role to go out here and send all these smoke signals. But certainly Arkansas did what they had to do to lock up Sam Pittman, gave him that non-compete, so he cannot leave for another SEC job. But let's kick it over to Sam Pittman here. Tuesday comments, just overwhelmingly appreciative of Arkansas. And interestingly, I never heard a coach say something like this, but he wanted to be fair to the university as well as fair to his checkbook here. So interesting comments from Sam Pittman.
Went back to my original contract. The number of wins changed from 6, 7, 8 to 7, 8, 9 was a change in there, which we certainly understand. The program's different, than what it was a couple of years ago. And I thought, in contracts, Trey, really, we all want to be treated fair. That's it. It's not. And sometimes the eye of the beholder is not unrealistic. And in this case, maybe I was. I don't have any idea. But I was very, very pleased and happy with the contract and the incentives in it. If I want to get paid more money, we need to win football games. And if we don't, then it goes down to 50% in the buyout if they happen to fire me and things of that nature, if we have a losing record. And so I thought it was fair for both. And I was very cautious that I wanted it to be fair for the university as well. I think it put me about 9th in the SEC, and I've only been a head coach for 2 years. And I think to me it was fair. I was ecstatic to get it, and I thought Jimmy Sexton did a wonderful job with his communication through myself. And you'd have to ask Hunter, but I think they have a really good relationship from this contract, and I'm pleased that this will be my last coaching job. And the non-compete in the SEC is basically stating that stability, and that's what I wanted. I want to be able to use it in recruiting, and we certainly have as recently as 5 minutes ago. Well, non-compete, basically how it came is I shot my mouth off on Scott Van Pelt and ESPN, and then, I was told you shot your mouth off, so, you might as well sign it in there. Then once I got to thinking about it, I thought, you know what, this could help us in recruiting because, again, we're one of eight programs of 130 that have the two coordinators and the head coach coming back for year 3. So, portal's been around a long time for football coaches. And So I thought we could sell some stability, and that's why I wanted it in the contract. And I told the people of Arkansas that this would be my last job, and I wanted a piece of paper to confirm what my mouth said. In all honesty, even though you're not trying to think about it, and as it continues to go longer and longer, Scotty, it wears on you some, and you don't want it to, because you're getting paid, you have a job to do. But when we signed it, it was a relief and an honor, to be honest with you. It was an honor that the school thought enough of me to give me a longer contract, and obviously financial benefit of that and things of that nature. But yeah, it was probably a relief, but it was also very humbling and an honor that I can, as long as we keep winning and things, I can be the head coach at Arkansas for several years. And that was the goal of it. I mean, I'm so fortunate, I really am, and so honored. I am. But we were at a get together Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday night, and Hunter had the contract, and we went up to his room and signed it. And then the university took all kinds of, the faculty rep and the administration and Muss and Coach Neighbors, and of course Van Horn was working, and we all went to dinner. But it was a wonderful night for not only myself but for Jamie as well, and it was really cool that we got to celebrate that night together, and just a privilege and honor to be the head coach at Arkansas, and that's how I felt.
And real quick, if you don't get the reference he's talking about with Scott Van Pelt, we'll kick it up here and we'll play it here in just a second. But, the money quote is, he said this is going to be his final job. He's going to retire at Arkansas. So, and that led to some wondering, well, why the hell Sam Pittman need this contract extension and all this if he plans on being here? But pretty awesome quote here from Sam Pittman. Let's kick it over that viral comment here from Scott Van Pelt.
Coach, through the years, I have shown resumes of the people in your profession, and it's remarkable what you guys go through. I just moved back home to Maryland, where I'm from. I hope I never have to move again. And I look at your resume, and my gosh, you've been all over. And I just wonder, Sam, does it feel like for you that you are home, that this is a place where you can unpack boxes and just, as my grandma used to say, sit a spell?
This statement's probably going to cost me a little bit of money one of these days, but this is it for me. I'm not interested in any other program. Arkansas is truly the greatest program in America to me. I grew up 75 miles from here. I have a lake home on Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs. My wife's from Pittsburgh, Kansas, and we're home, and this is where we want to be, and this is be my last job.
I have a feeling some Arkansas fans out there might hear that and say, yes, sir.
I'm sure Arkansas fans have seen that before, but I just thought the rest of the SEC, maybe you missed it. And it's good to see Sam Pittman locked up for a couple more years there in Fayetteville. Going to end his coaching career with the Arkansas Razorbacks, and cannot be more fired up for the future of that program.